Hello, this is Davide Biocchi speaking, and here we are for my weekly intermarket analysis. Let's start in the beginning with the euro dollar. This currency pair went, let's say, really down, and we are now around 0.9645. It is a quite relevant price, really strong. This movement is very similar to what we have seen here and what we have seen here and what we have seen here in the past and even here. So what happened here was that every time after a sideways, the euro dollar goes down, it goes down and continues to go down really terrible. So what is happening here is that the interest could be only in the fact that we could see some reaction due to the, let's say, hypersold that we have. Let's say that the more this shadow will remain until the end of the day, maybe it can go through and offer us an opportunity to see a rebound. Otherwise, it will be again a test below the price of 0.96. That is, in a certain way, tremendous for the European economy because we are importing inflation, but on the other side is also terrible for the US company that want to export their products, especially to Europe. So this is quite interesting, and let's see how it will go through. Imagine that also the dollar is very strong with the Japanese yen and the dollar is very strong with the British pound, so that the dollar index is now at his quite incredible good price of 113. So it's really good to see that if you are long on dollar. Let's go immediately after to see what is happening on the commodities, and we have both the gold and the crude oil going down. So on the gold, we have seen that the market left definitely the previous support of 1,680 that now will work as a resistance. We are now around 1,650. That more or less is what we can see here. Imagine that the yield today arrived at 3.8%. So let's say the more the yield of a T note grows, the less we can see interest on the gold as an alternative to bonds. So let's see where it will go and where it will happen. And also on the crude oil, we have seen a movement that push the crude oil below the price of 80. We are now around 77, and let's say that the first very interesting support is even $10 below this present price. So let's see what is going to happen on these commodities that are going down, and this is exactly what is in the expectation of the Federal Reserve to, let's say, to tell them that their job is well done and the inflation will definitely at the end go down. So let's see what is going to happen here. And what about the stock indices? Well, in Europe, we have seen the situation, let's say, in a terrible way because the market went below the price of 3,400 that I highlighted to you so many times as a main support that we have on the road. We are now at 3,334, as we can see here, and this price is really showing us that the market is below this level, that 3,400 is now a resistance, and let's see what is going to happen. And just finally, let's have a look at the S&P 500 that is really close to the support that we can clearly see at 3,650. This is a very relevant support because below this price we have from 200 to 300 points where we don't have very big support to offer the possibility for let's say for a reversal pattern. Let's see what is going to happen also here, because not only the S&P is on a quite important support, but also the Nasdaq itself will offer us this opportunity to see. So more or less this is what fits the expectation of the Federal Reserve, to see the commodities down so that inflation will go down, and in the meanwhile also the market are going down because they push for we don't know if a recession, but for sure a slowdown of the economy that will help inflation going down. This is the aim that the central banks has, and they are all working for this purpose. And if you see around, all these persons involved with the central bank are speaking. They have speech all over the day in Europe, in US. So this is the moment for the central bank, and we will see the impact of their activity, let's say, also in short term. And for this week, I expect the market maybe to find a reaction, only because there is a lot of hyper sold anywhere. But in medium term, I see, let's say, all the obligations, I mean the bonds world and also the stocks world, already in the process to find a bottom. So thank you very much for being here with me. Bye bye, and see you soon next week. Ciao. Bye, Davide.